first of all, thanks for coming out to our first meeting of the day, 8 o'clock a.m. It's pretty early, so congratulations for just getting here. That's great. What I'd like to do is introduce myself, and I'll kind of explain what we're going to do for the next hour, and then we'll start to walk through the different sections. Because I want this to be interactive. I want you guys to understand and get a good understanding and feel for what Lean, what Agile is about, and how you can actually start to use that in your SAP projects and start to see a difference in the way that your team can become productive. So a little bit of background about myself. I'm the CEO of Genesis Consulting. We started Genesis about a little over a year ago. And the reason we started it was because we wanted to create a company that was going to create a difference for our customers. We wanted to be able to provide different types of solutions, different types of offerings from an SAP perspective and help you continue to add value. And here's a little bit of a picture. It's a very visual type technique also. I like to use, there are some automated tools, but I think when we're starting with new teams that are getting started, I like to use a visual way. Lots of sticky post-it notes, like to be able to see exactly where we stand. You watch your work move from the left side of the board all the way to the right side of the board. We have metrics and posters that are all over the board that everybody can see at all times. Like I said, very visible, very transparent. Release backlogs. This is what we still have to work in our release. Not being actively worked, but it's still sitting out there. The blue stickies are the stories that we just talked about, so the scenarios. The yellow stickies are the tasks and activities that have to get completed in order to close out the story. Once you can close out the story, you get credit for the points that are associated with that story. But what happens here is that you've got team members that maybe they're a little bit of a standstill. They'll look at the other ones and they'll say, hey, can I help you out with some of those stuff that you're doing? I got a little time today, da, 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 da. You start to see cross-pollination of the people on your team. The team's coming together to complete this goal. This goal is to get all those yellow stickies off the board and get credit. We've always been so trained to stay in our silos or to stay in our own little boxes. Now that this is visual, now that everybody sees exactly what everybody's doing, everybody can help each other out. So it's promoting that collaboration environment. What we want to do is we want to set a goal. We talk about story points. And so these guys set a goal of about 44 story points that their team is going to deliver. So we have our straight line, that's our target, our goal. And then we know that we want to get down to 0 by the time we're done with the sprint. So this was a 10-day sprint. So every day we measure how many points did you finish today? How many of those blue stickies did you get off the board? Did you get 4 points worth of work, 10 points worth of work, whatever it was? You measure it, and you want to stay as close to your trend. So here, these guys ended up a little bit short. I think this was like their first sprint that they were a little short on. So they're a little bit short, but it gives you immediate information to show exactly where you are. Then what we do is we also trend this sprint by sprint. So you can now see, from a velocity perspective, how quickly is your team producing work? And are we getting better? Are we staying the same? Are we increasing? But product owner, this is the person that we mentioned, is responsible for making those hard decisions about what should we work on, what should we not work on. Help us prioritize that backlog so that we know exactly what we're delivering to the stakeholders. The team's clear on it, but the product owner needs to be the one. They also need to be the one that's out there promoting and informing and educating people as to what to expect when they walk into that next sprint review, when they walk in and provide some of the feedback. It's their job to make sure that they are working the craft. The sprint team is the actual team. And that's the team that's working in this Agile world. They're cranking out work, they're working on the stories, they're working on the story points. They've been empowered to make decisions. You'll see the dynamics because we are no longer about command and control project managers. So for those of us that are command and control project managers like myself, it's very hard to step back and let the team build their own dynamics. And that's what it's about. Let them figure out how it's best to work together. They're going to figure it out. It might take a sprint or two to figure it out, but they're going to figure it out. And they're going to say, hey, you know what? It works better if so-and-so does this, or so-and-so does this, or maybe we should do it in this sequence or this order. They will. It's self-managed. So we as managers have to step back a little bit and watch them and let that happen. And sure enough, it will happen. Then you'll start to see productivity increase. Scrum Master. Scrum Master is the person that is responsible for keeping the team on task and managing the process. So there is a process that we go through. We have daily scrums, we manage the board, we manage the backlog, we manage the tasks and activities, we manage the metrics on a daily basis. There's somebody who's bringing all that together. That's the Scrum Master. Those are the key 3 roles. So Scrum Master, managing the process of how we do it every day, the team that's actually out there doing all the work, and then the product owner.